Today was day 2 of the Washington Commanders OTA period. We got to see a lot of Jaden Daniels and Marcus Mariota, Austin Eckler, Zach Ertz, and all the veterans and rookies come together for a practice, but also saw some guys try out as well, and those included guys like Martavis Bryant, former Cowboys wide receiver, and former Cliff Kingsbury wide receiver back in Arizona, Damiere Byrd as well. Now, with that being said, according to Tom Pelissero, the veteran wide receiver Damiere Byrd is signing with the Commanders today, and he will be on their team for at least the rest of, minicamp, training camp, preseason to see if he can actually make the 53-man roster. Now, in this video, I wanted to break down everything I know about Damiere Byrd and why I think this could actually be a very solid fit for the Washington Commanders. Now, before we jump into the video, comment down below who have you been most impressed with throughout camp and rookie minicamp and OTAs. Who are you most excited to see when it comes to the regular season, and who do you think will have the biggest impact day 1? But with that being said, let's talk a little bit about why Damiere Byrd is actually a really good fit here for the Commanders and why I think it could definitely help them throughout the rest of camp. Now, right away, we look at a couple of things, right? Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson. Those two guys are day 1 starters. From there, it's basically just a major competition to see who's going to be the number 3, 4, 5, and 6, right? Luke McCaffrey has done such an incredible job thus far, and I think he's a guy that cemented himself in as being one of the top 4 guys on this roster going forward. Obviously, we won't know more until the pads come on, until we actually get some one-on-ones and 7-on-7, 11-on-11s with contact. But also, you have Dax Mullane. I don't know if I said his name right. Dynami Brown, Zacchaeus they brought over from Philadelphia, Jamison Crowder, and actually, Marcus Jack Saint. Is actually a guy that's been standing out in rookie minicamp. I want to see if it, translates over to OTAs and mandatory minicamp, but they do have a couple of guys I really, really like. But if you ask me, if you look at Damiere Byrd and what he's done over his career, I think he slots into that wide receiver 4 mix where he can come in and just make big things happen. Now, when you look at the Commanders from last season, they were quite frankly really bad, right? 25th in points per game. But when you look at the passing numbers, 28th in sack percentage, 30th QB or interception thrown percentage, 27th in yards per pass, 18 in completion percentage. Obviously, this team needed some work, and I think Damiere Byrd right away will make a massive impact for what they're trying to do. Not only that, but I also believe there is a world where, he's a former player of Cliff Kingsbury, knows what he wants to run, knows the kind of offense that he likes to use, and I think he'll be able to come in, learn very quickly. Let's actually look at some of his stats here. So over his career, he's played in a bunch of different seasons, right? Since 2016, I believe he was undrafted free agent, but let's look at his stats. So 130 catches, over 1,600 yards, 7 touchdowns, averaging 13 yards per reception. When you look back at what they've done last season, they were pretty bad in terms of yard per reception. This is a guy that can come in right now. He can help mentor guys. He can be a kick returner, a punt returner, but also a guy who can get the ball in the backfield, be a little bit of a rusher, a scat, Swiss Army knife type of player here for Washington. Now, in a second, we're going to break down some of his film. I'm going to show you even more why he could be a big-time threat. Last season didn't really play at all for Atlanta, but his best year definitely came in 2020 with the New England Patriots, where he had 47 catches, 604 yards, and 1 touchdown as well. Let me know in the comments down below, do you see him fitting in with this team, or do you think that this is kind of just, insurance and more competition to this wide receiver room? Now, with that being said, let's actually watch some of this film. Before we do that, though, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, turn on post notifications, because we will be covering the Commanders throughout the entirety of the offseason. OTAs, mandatory minicamp, training camp, preseason, regular season, everything you guys need to know, we got you guys covered. Join the family, turn on post notifications. With that being said, let's break down some Damiere Byrd film. All right, here we go. This is the first play I want to show you guys. The first thing we need to notice here is we have 1 deep safety. Whenever you have 1 deep safety look, if you have a guy with speed, you know that it could be there if it is man coverage. Now, Damiere Byrd is lined up right here. He's going to make a double move out and then cut back in and just get up the seam of the field, right? Now, watch how this play breaks down. Really good move here by Damiere Byrd, and the offensive line does a really good job protecting Cam Newton. Again, this is in 2020, so boom, Cam has plenty of time here. Now, if you're in Washington, you have a guy like Jaden Daniels who is really good at throwing deep bombs, but also extending plays on his legs. So these type of situations with Damiere Byrd and Jaden Daniels could be really relevant in Washington, right? Lobs it up there, throws a deep bomb. Now, at this point in time, it doesn't even look like Damiere Byrd has any separation. I mean, that looks like really good defense here, but look at the adjustment by Damiere Byrd in midair to go over and grab this ball. This is an unbelievable catch by Damiere Byrd, and these are things you can start seeing him doing with the guy like Jaden Daniels and his arm talent, his accuracy as a quarterback. I think him and Damiere Byrd actually could make a really good fit together. Now, another reason I really like Damiere Byrd here in Washington is because you can do really crazy things with him. In this case scenario, he is lined up to the right of the quarterback, Justin Fields. Now, what he's going to run, he's going to come out and then slant over the middle, right? Now, he can be a safety net for any quarterback, and he can be lined up in a bunch of different spots, and definitely a mismatch versus some safeties, and 100% mismatch against some linebackers. On this specific play, again, going to cut over the middle of the field. Fields is going to read it and just throw it over the middle, right? Now, at this point in time, it doesn't seem like he might be able to do too much, but again, great field vision, can turn nothing into something, and definitely outrun some linebackers and some safeties as well. And just like that, the man's off to the races. These are things that when you add with a quarterback like Jaden Daniels, it could make his life just so much more easy. And again, you talk about how quickly this man can get outside his break. Let me actually put it back to real time here. Again, boom, snap the ball, cut over the middle, beautiful little route there. Get that separation between you and your defender, and boom, off to the races. This is beautiful football. Good execution. Again, another reason I think Jaden Daniels would love having him here in Washington. Now, this clip I found doesn't do a really good job showing him separate, but what he's going to run here, you don't see him on your screen, but he's going to come back to the football here on, 1st and 15. Now, watch again. This play is actually with Marcus Mariota, one of his quarterbacks now in Washington, to back up for Jaden Daniels. Again, Mariota gets outside the pocket, extends the play on his feet, and then Damiere Byrd is that really good wide receiver where when he's running a route, he notices when the quarterback needs help, when he's going to come back and make sure he is getting open for the quarterback. Boom, does exactly that. I mean, let's just take a look at the separation between him and his defender over here. That is about 5 yards of just space, right? Space on space on space. Get him the football, come back, and now let's see if he can make a play after the catch. Boom. I mean, he uses that speed so well. Number 8, Kyle Pitts, just getting in the way here, and then just like that, 14, Damiere Byrd is off to the races. Good luck catching this dude, because I promise you, he is so hard to tackle in open space because he can turn nothing into something almost every single time. Now, one of my favorite things about him is his ability to come back to the football, right? Come back, boom. Not allow this defender to be anywhere near the football because I'm going to keep running towards you, right? I mean, if he would have just stood still, that would have given the DB the opportunity to jump it and make something happen. But hey, I really do love the addition of Damiere Byrd here, and I think this is going to go down as a very underrated signing. Comment down below a letter grade for the signing. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family, turn on post notifications. I will be covering the Commanders throughout the rest of the offseason, so join the family, and I'll see you guys in the next Commanders update. Peace.